Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another Sister Wives Season 11 review. And life is lifing. I am annoyed. Not at this show, but y'all, I gotta keep it honest with you all. I'm a little annoyed with my car. Back in November, I put over $1,000 into it. Last week, I put over $1,000 into it. And today, I don't know how much I'm going to have to put into it. But it's coming to the point where having a 2010 Nissan Rogue needs to go. I love not having a car note, but goodness gracious, I'm just getting hit left and right to the point where I feel like I got a car note. Anyways, enough of me telling my business. Let's escape into the realities, or not so reality, of the Sister Wives from many years ago. So, Madison's wedding is right around the corner, and we see Robin and Christine out shopping for what they're calling an open house. Now, I've never heard of this before, but apparently an open house is where people come to have well wishes and things of that nature with the bride and the groom after their wedding. So this is going to be a week after the wedding. Kind of sounds a little bit to me like what some people do, the sip and see, where people see the baby, but they're going to see the bride and groom. So Robin and Christine are out shopping for tables and rugs and pillows and cushions and things of that nature for this event. They're trying to make sure that they keep the bohemian / gypsy theme, even though they're going to non-bohemian stores. So they find this tray and they put the tray on the floor, and the bird allows Christine to join her on her perch. And they're sitting there acting as if this is what they're going to do at the house, because I guess they're going to have pillows surrounding this tray for this bohemian theme. They both agree that they're not into bohemian. They have no desire to have that type of style in their homes. We then see Cody, who is all smiles, though he's telling us through his smile that Christine and Robin are very easy to get along with. For some reason, in the plural marriage situation, when it comes to their sister wives, there's some kind of strain, and I don't know why. This is coming from Cody. Hello, strain. Hello, strain. Hello, Cody. Hello. You're the strain. Cody is the strain. The bald eagle is the strain. Ramen is the strain. He is molting before our very eyes, season by season, and he is the strain. His hairline is showing. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but he's the strain. He is the strain. Before Robin came into the picture, Christine was the person that made life easier for Cody. She did her best. She was the easy wife, remember? She told us in season 18 that she tried to be the perfect wife. So whatever Cody asked of her, she did it. But there was really no reciprocation there. We now know that while Christine was pregnant, even though Cody to this day denies it, and she was working, she asked Cody if he'd be willing to put her children to sleep because she was unable to. Instead of him being willing to do that, he told her no. And as a result, their eldest, Aspen, had to do it. Which, despite how that made Christine feel and how much pressure it put on Aspen, they handed off these responsibilities to their eldest. All right? Then you have this younger, somewhat attractive. That's in the eyes of the beholder, because I've always felt like Janelle and Christine were of the more attractive wives, but we're not doing major comparisons here. But you have this younger, somewhat attractive woman come in. She's divorced. She has 3 kids and a lot of debt. And she gets everything that she wants and more. I mean, we're catering to her kids. She's getting a nanny. She's getting more time with you. You're doing things for her and her children that Christine always wanted for herself and her children. He says now they're in this better place that he finds interesting. Why does Cody find it interesting that they did what it was that he's claimed to us that he's wanted them to do, which was for Christine to work on her jealousy so that they could get closer? Christine has done that. Christine has put her feelings to the side, and his words are he finds this interesting. For Robin and Christine, he says they can just enjoy this, this party girl, this girl party time. It can be fun when they, put aside the petty jealousy. They can find themselves in a place of mirth and of joy, a relationship that if he was gone, they would be able to really enjoy each other's company. I've come to the conclusion that Cody likes for his wives to be upset with each other, that he has to be the center of attention, and he likes it even though he says he doesn't. His facial expressions and things of that nature shows that he likes when they don't get along. Why? Because he's allowed to be at the center. We've heard him say it more than once that he before would like to see them get along, but now he questions it. Cody don't want them to get along. Christine and Robin then head to Joanne's or Joe's to taste cookies. What you hear is a lot of, they're so good, they're so yummy. They end up ordering it for 200 people. Y'all, if I leave some stuff out and you want to talk about it, put it down below. Christine is so happy and so giddy and so relaxed. Apparently, she's been off of sugar for 20 days, and she has what looks like a sugar high. I would even call it a contact high, because the way she's laughing, some people may think that she was drinking. Some may people that she had some other form of medicinal medication. Like, she seems a little, but she's just happy. She's giddy, and that's that. Robin points out that it was funny, but it was also awkward because Joe was looking at Christine like she was crazy. Janelle says that when Christine is like this, she is more enjoyable. Cody says if you're in the right mood, then it's enjoyable. But if you're in the wrong mood, then she becomes unhinged and it pisses you off. I don't even understand why he would call it unhinged and why he felt the need to even add that part, because I feel like sometimes Cody likes to dig at his wives and he masks it with making it seem like he's just trying to make a joke, but he means what he's saying. Robin and Christine are enjoying each other's company. Robin even enjoys when Christine misbehaves, and Christine likes it. The Bird says it's 100% better in the family if you are having a good, close relationship with your sister wives. So with her saying that, I would think that Cody would promote this. You would think that Cody would add additional wives at good points in his relationships rather than at bad points. Because here you are telling us how important it is for all the sister wives to have these great relationships, yet he enjoys the troubling aspects of it, and he's not willing to do anything to fix it. At this point, we know that Mary and Janelle have admittedly had trouble with their relationship for over 20 years, and that we don't understand why it's troubling, other than the fact that maybe Janelle dated her ex-sister-in-law's man behind her back, or that out of his own mouth, he was feeling smothered by Mary, so he got another wife, or that Mary and Janelle weren't getting along, so he got the third wife, Christine. And now we know that him and Mary weren't getting along, and so he got a fourth. He admitted in recent seasons that he added wives when things went wrong. He even kind of alluded to that in the book. I think it's interesting that no one calls him out on what he's done and how his courting style has jacked up the family. He didn't even make sure that these women would get along before he had these additions. So Robin's sitting here telling us that, you know, it just works better when the wives are getting along and all these other things. Why wasn't that a thing that was ensured before he even got married to the bird? Kody is inconsiderate, selfish, insensitive, and he's a fool. And I feel like, and some of you may get mad at me, but these women are fools too. They're naive, but you can't sit here and tell me the importance of making sure that your sister-wife relationship is good, because if not, it affects the whole family. And for over 20 years, you've had relationships that have been trash that have affected the whole family. They're flawed. Christine says, Isabel said when Robin and Dad first got married that all they did, Christine and Robin, was not get along well. And now Isabel says that they get along again and that they're just alike because they like to laugh and they like to be silly all the time. I look back at this statement and I feel like they get along now because Robin had a long game and Robin morphed herself into various characteristics of the different wives in order to completely satisfy her husband. Because if you look at it, there's certain characteristics that Robin tried to take on from the wives that she was unsuccessful at. Example, when she decided that she wanted to do the finances for Sister Wives Closet, even though that was Janelle's specialty. When she tried to attempt to have certain gatherings at her house, even though that was Christine and Mary's specialty, she tried to put herself in there and try to take on different characteristics of the different wives. But I don't think she was really that successful at some of them because she was only able to maintain it for so long. If that's not who you are authentically, at some point the facade is going to fade. They talk about how hard it is when you're having a bad day as a sister wife because you don't know who you're upset with. The bird admits to being upset with Kody and how if she's not careful that she's found that she'll take it out on her sister wives instead of him. And I think that she's probably done that more often than she's willing to admit. The bird says that the last year and a half that she's gotten a lot closer with Christine. Robin says that last week, though, they kind of had something happen where Christine was frustrated with Kody and she was yelling, and Robin thought that it was about her too. Christine makes an excuse for it, but I think at this point it paints a bigger picture because Christine's apologizing. If she is sitting here saying this to us now, that she thought, the bird did, that this argument had to deal with her, what do you think that she was saying to Kody in that moment? Because Robin is always in his ear. She always is saying something to Kody. Even Janelle in more recent years has said there's things that she has told Robin that was repeated to her from Kody, and she knew that she had the discussion with Robin. So she's constantly in that man's ear. Christine says, I vented too strongly, and I'm really, really, really sorry. Robin's sitting there like, as Christine is sitting there saying, I'm really, really sorry. She says, I know you felt like it was your fault. I should have said right away it wasn't you. I want Christine not to apologize for being human because she did a lot of apologizing when she didn't have to. That argument was between you and your husband. Why are you apologizing to his bird? All this. If you weren't looking, you would think I was crying. But it's a trick. The girl isn't crying. She didn't even wipe her face like she does now when she did that. But she was just supposedly crying and hugging you. She didn't turn red either. Like, what is going on here, Christine? You really fell for this? Okay. We get to Mykelti and Tony. Mykelti and Tony are there for their announcement. I don't understand why they felt the need to do this right now. I don't know why they couldn't wait to announce their engagement until after Maddie's wedding, but this is what Mykelti does. So she's told her older sisters, but now she wants to tell the entire family. I don't know which older sister she told, because we never saw her have a conversation with Madison. So I don't know which one she told. Cody jokes about how Mykelti and Maddie were born 6 months apart, so it's only right that they get married 6 months apart. We're reminded again about when they wanted to do this wedding, and it's pointed out that they're doing it in December. Aspen said that it took them a while to warm up to Tony because they didn't even feel like Mykelti should have been dating. They felt like Mykelti was supposed to go there to get themselves on track, and Mykelti instead got a man. She was supposed to be taking time for herself, and that's not what she did. So Tony walks in asking about cheesecake because Robin made him homemade cheesecake. I didn't even know Robin was the baker. I thought that was things that Christine did. Understand, everything that Robin does is calculating. So did she do that out of the kindness of her heart, or did she do that as an end? So Tony pulls a Cody and gives a play-by-play to this engagement. The kids get excited. They announce it. Cody says, "You have no idea what work I had to do to get this date right." Christine steals his moment and says, "You have no idea the work that Tony did to get the date right." Tony had to sell Mykelti because she wanted the warmer wedding and the August date. As I said before, there would be no selling on my end, because if you can't pay for it, and if TLC isn't willing to pay for it when you want it done, then you're not going to get it done off of us or off of the network. Mykelti, no. Oh, he says he is a Mykelti whisperer. You know, like Robin is a Cody whisperer. Truly thinks it's gross that they're getting married. Cody says, "I think it's great. Congratulations." Then Robin says, "I have to say, I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations. And I can't believe how much you seem to talk Mykelti's language, and you're there to you're able to be there and to calm her down and to make her happy. That I love watching it. It's beautiful." And I'm confused because we were just told that y'all didn't really hang around them that much, that they came a couple of times. So how was Robin able to witness all of this? Because we were told episodes ago about how they didn't know Tony, they didn't see him enough, and now she's sitting here acting like she's privy to a whole bunch of additional information. Me seeing you interact with my child once or twice does not have me sold on you, but that's just my opinion. The bird says that she feels like Mykelti has found her soulmate. Cody says he's going to look for this now when it comes to all of his children. That is something that's almost hard to touch, because in order to find your soulmate, it's spiritual. He's never really said the whole soulmate thing about anybody to the degree that he said it about Robin, if I'm correct. You all let me know down below. We head to Maddie's, and it's 6 days before the wedding. Janelle is heading up to Worland, Wyoming with Desi to help Maddie with some of the decor for the wedding. She's able to leave now because she's going to get help through her sister wives while the other kids are at home. I mean, Mary could easily go over to that house to help, but, you know, they work it out in whatever way that they do. We don't know who's watching the kids. We just know that they're going to help. They have her dress, and now they're ready to step in where she needs help. Janelle says she still isn't emotional, and she feels like she's gaining Caleb instead of losing Maddie, which is a beautiful way to look at it. It is. I think that the fact that Maddie has been coming so much has also helped. And also Janelle told us in previous episodes that she's been talking Maddie to more now than she was even before. Janelle calls Maddie, lets her know that she has all the things, and if there's anything that they forget, that the family can bring it when they come. Robin says lately, whenever they see Maddie, you can tell she's stressed out a lot and that there's a lot of intense energy about her. I'm saying it now that if I ever get married, I'm going to have a wedding planner. And I'm talking about a J-Lo wedding planner, you know, from the movie The Wedding Planner. Ooh, maybe I need to add that on my movie time. Maybe that might be a good one to do. Anyways, because I don't have time to worry myself with all that, and I need whoever my wedding planner is to pay specific attention to detail. But let me also be clear, I'm not wasting a whole bunch of money on a wedding. We can party at the reception. I think my wedding would be small, and I want my reception to be buffet style with good music and fun. Like, let's just get a place that looks really good. I don't even have to have a whole bunch of unnecessary decorations. I look at a lot of this stuff now that, you know, when I was engaged previously and it got to that point, and the ideas that I had in mind for my wedding versus now, I'm just not, I don't care about all that now. Let's worry about the foundation of us, or the foundation of a home. I could care less about the other stuff. But back to this. Cody feels like it's the role of the bride to be stressed. Mary says she has a vision of what she wants this thing to be. And when you're that focused, she can see how Maddie would get stressed out. They say every time that she comes home, she's thinner. Christine wondered if she was doing it on purpose, and Janelle says no, she just loses a lot of weight when she's stressed, that she's witnessed it herself, that she's not eating enough. It's even become a problem with the dress because they keep taking in the dress and she keeps getting smaller. They were living in Montana last summer, but after Caleb's mom passed, they've moved back to Wyoming. So knowing this, I think that it's not just the stress of the wedding. I think that we're forgetting that this young man lost his mother in March, and Maddie probably was being there for him and helping them and seeing things and stuff like that that was going on with the family. That probably kind of had her stressed out too, because you have to anticipate what this wedding is going to feel like without someone so significant being there, which is his mom and even her uncle, his brother-in-law. They arrive at Caleb and Maddie's, which means that they live together. And you clearly see a C and an M on the wall. Janelle, who isn't into crafts, is there to help with these crafts. I was looking like, Janelle struggles with this, but okay. Erica, who is the widow of Cody's brother, arrives. Janelle tells us how the Brown family and their family have always known of each other and how Caleb has been a good guy. But what stood out to her was how after Erica's husband passed, Cody's brother, that at 26, that Caleb basically put his life on hold to help out his sister and his children. That is very admirable. Everybody wouldn't do that. And for him to be so young and do that, that does speak to his character. Maddie pulls out a picture of her and Caleb looking at each other. And Erica explains that this was a couple months after Curtis passed. Ooh-wee. I don't know where that came from. She says they went there to go fishing and Caleb and Maddie just really connected. You can tell while Erica is talking that she is absolutely remembering this moment. And maybe that's why I feel myself getting a little, because you can see it on her face. There's something different about loss sometimes on people where you can just see it on them. And I'm looking at her in this scene versus how we saw her in the past. And she just looks a little different to me. But, you know, that's just something that I noticed. She says, I don't even know if they noticed it, but everybody else that was around them did. She said, I was snapping pictures and we caught this. Janelle says, when you look at this picture, it's so obvious that there was some type of connection there, but these two were so oblivious to it. This is the same day that they did their first four-wheel ride, and that is the same area where they did the proposal, which to me is very sweet. Maddie says she remembers thinking that day that she was going to marry him, and she ended up calling Desi and told her, I think I met my future husband. Christine and Cody had no clue. They said they didn't see it, but Janelle said that, you know, she was. And Cody said, like, we had no clue, but Janelle wasn't in the dark. Cody pointed out that he was bothered that he didn't know. Cody, why would you know? You weren't really around your daughter at a certain point, and that wasn't the dynamic that you had. If you're so busy up the bird's butt, how would you see it? Anyways, they text and they talked and they developed feelings, and now they're going to get married. Maddie goes upstairs because she's like, Erica, do you want to see the dress? And she's like, yes. She goes upstairs. She comes down, and Erica loves it. She loves it. She says, he'll cry. I don't know how he couldn't. And you feel it. You feel the love. Her reaction was the reaction that I was expecting from the mothers when she first started trying on the dresses. Erica gave me exactly all the feels that I needed multiple times in this episode. Maddie looks good, but she lost some more weight again. Janelle tells Madison to her face that she looks really great, but in confessional, she's like, I think the dress is too big. And that the way that the dress is built, she's going to have to, they're going to have to figure something out because she's going to either come out the top of it or it's going to fall down. They don't have heavy industrial machines or equipment to fix it. So she's recommending for her to probably use some tape as well as to gain some weight. We're then reminded again about the differences in the weddings, and Janelle says that she didn't have this. Her family was hurt and confused, so they didn't come to support her. She knew that she wouldn't have the big wedding, and she was okay with that, and she still is okay with that. I don't think that Janelle, listening to her talk about the wedding and stuff like that, and looking at her over the years, I don't think that Janelle was in love for a long time. I just don't. And it's not because of her demeanor. It's just, I look at stuff over the years, what she openly said in her book, and I feel like a lot of what Janelle did in the beginning was Janelle went through the motions of what she believed her faith said she was supposed to do, as well as the lightning bolt that they left to talk about, whatever. Maddie loves dream catchers, so they're making their own. As they're preparing, the subject of Hunter arriving with the bridesmaids comes up. Janelle says, I should tell him to bring the fishing pole so him and Caleb can get lost for a couple hours in fishing. And they'll be more sane if they're allowed to do that. Maddie doesn't really like the idea of them doing fishing. She wants them to hang out, but she doesn't want them to forget the reason why they're there, which is for the wedding. They're going to be right next to the Gallatin River, according to Janelle, where this is a spot that a lot of people fish. It is what would be considered a destination river. Janelle wants Hunter to experience it because it's important to him. Maddie makes a smart remark about how, like, Caleb isn't really going to want to fish. He's just going to want to humor Janelle. I caught it, Maddie, and I'm like, okay, it's clear that you're annoyed by your mother right now because you don't want to do the fishing thing. We got it. For Janelle, this would be relaxation, but it's just stressing Maddie out because Maddie wants her mother to be there. She said, you wanted to be there. We discussed this and you said you want to be there. And now you're saying you don't want to be there. It's some back and forth. And Janelle is just going to go fishing on a different day. So we see the family getting ready to leave to head to Montana. It's a 2-day drive. They're anticipating that they'll do 8 hours of travel each day. They have an RV, Christine's minivan, Robin's minivan, Mary's car, and Garrison's truck. Ugh, Garrison. They're realizing how much this not so destination wedding is taking on. We're reminded that Mary didn't do her part with the amount of kids that she had, and that even though it looks like it's a lot of them, this is small for a polygamous family. I know they joke about it, but I don't think it's safe to joke about something like that when this is something that has clearly bothered her over the years. They're proud of themselves for being able to get there like they were supposed to, which was 2 days before the wedding. Some of the older kids speak about how happy they are for Madison and Caleb. Peyton then asks Aspen when she's going to get married. because there's a certain person that they already know about. She says she hasn't met anyone she wants to marry yet. Then she says, maybe there is somebody, but I'm not getting married for a couple of years. And I'm never telling you all anything again. I wonder if at that time she was talking about Mitch. You guys let me know down below. They say Madison is taking on everything on her own. We see her letting the different family members know which cabin they'll be staying in. Cody says, crazy town has come. It doesn't have to be crazy. I feel like Cody likes the chaos in some ways and he hates it in others. We used to go camping all the time, and at times we would have as many as 50 kids, and it was not chaotic. It's called stand at attention, which means you be quiet. And if you didn't get quiet, you may get some type of disciplinarian thing, like all the other kids are out there having fun while you have to sit and wait for 30 minutes or an hour before you can. There's some really quick fixes to that, but they don't have control over their kids a lot of times. It's something that I noticed. I got to call it like I see it. You don't have control over your kids. Maddie lets them know, these are the plans. I'm not going to need you all there to help set up until 11:30 tomorrow. I'm going to have things laid out as to where I want them, and then I'll assign them accordingly. Some people will already be there early. Cody is trying to take lessons from Maddie and her approach, but Janelle basically lets him know that he wouldn't be capable of doing this and that he's not the type to arrive early to get the lay of the land. They had a good example of this with Joe and his family. They should have, at this point, perfected this stuff. You all have been polygamous for several years now, but I guess they didn't travel a lot because they were financially strapped. So maybe back then it wasn't a thing. And we're watching the play-by-play of it all now. I don't know. It just feels like it's always more chaotic than it has to be. Cody says they're disorganized because all the wives want to be in charge. He said he married 4 eldest daughters, and they all look at him and say, you should be in charge, but they want it done their way, that he's being puppeted by 4 women. They laugh, but that's exactly what's happening. Cody had been controlled by various women at various stages. And once Robin came in, I think Robin took control. You all let me know what you think. They're sitting there and they're eating their pizza and enjoying the scenery. And Janelle can't help but think about the area behind them and how much they actually have to decorate. Cody still has not written his vows. He tried to ask Madison. She said, you write it. The bird says, I think this shows a lot of trust in you. They're asking for you to write the vows. That just means a lot, they have a lot of trust in you. And then I said, or they just don't want to. I kind of cheated a little bit, y'all. And I fast forwarded yesterday to see some of the wedding, like right before the wedding. And Maddie could have wrote her own vows based on what she wrote to Caleb. But we'll get to that when I do the review for that on, Monday. Ooh, that's a way away. It's only 2 Sister Wife videos this week, y'all. Sorry. They could do it, but they didn't want to do it. I just feel like they just trust you so much, Cody. That's awesome. Robin will do anything to make Cody feel like he's the man. They want you to perform this ceremony because they were afraid that it would be too much for his father. Just say the vows and stop making this about you, because Cody has a way of making everything about him. If he was that nervous, he could have pulled off the script off online or something. I'm sure he could have gotten what some people say at a monogamous ceremony or watched some clips on YouTube or something. So everything is always made to be more than what it is. If you have not done so already, please like the video. I will be starting the series. Well, actually at this point, I'll be starting the series to my new book. I think it's 50 years of polygamy. I think it is. I may be saying the title wrong, but I will be starting that on Friday because we will be officially done with Becoming Free Indeed on Thursday. No. All right, y'all. Let me start over. Tuesday and Wednesday, Sister Wives for this week. Y'all, something is wrong with me. Rewind. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, book review. 2 of the days will be becoming free indeed. On Friday, we will begin 50 years of polygamy. Boom. Tuesday and Thursday of this week are Sister Wife recaps, okay? For those of you who are new, I know I'm all over the place. Also, on Friday, I will be releasing the movie time review for Just Right. I love that movie. I pre-recorded it. It's like a 40-minute thing, but I'm even reading lines in there, y'all. I love that movie. It's a new thing that I'm doing. Check out some of the content on my channel. Sorry for rambling. Maybe I'll introduce that better in the next video. Until next time.